ready to go to war with
That's
Chicago?
fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why
I
leave
don't
the
go to
Department of
war.
Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
Tell me you don't love that. President Trump absolutely obliterating fake news reporter Yamiche Alcindor, who works for NBC and is always hating on Trump, and then had the audacity to ask the preposterous question, are you going to war with Chicago? I'm going to share that clip again. You're going to see it again because it's brilliant, just in case, you happen to miss it, as well as I'm going to share with you why. And a lot of you already know this, but even more concrete proof that I think you're going to be, it's not your normal kind of the media's full of crap expose. This one really, really hits at a visceral, personal, powerful level. And I don't think anybody's talking about this. So stick around. I'm going to share that with you. Before we get into anything, I have to get this out of the way. I know I look like a bucket of manure. I have shingles. I just got diagnosed with shingles. It is one of the most painful, thank God I'm on good meds right now. It is one of the most painful things I have ever experienced in the history of my life. I wouldn't wish it on any of you. If you want to make me happy and make me feel better, here's what I want you to do. Watch this entire video, tap the thumbs up, and share it. Thank God we've got the right great doctors that have been helping me and prescribed me the right stuff, the right regimen. We're on course to get better, and I'm already feeling a little bit better. I've had it for about 4 or 5 days now, but the news never stops, and I never stop. And so before these pain meds wear off, let's get right into it. I haven't heard about this Ukrainian refugee who fled Ukraine and experienced this horrific end to her life on a bus by this gentleman right here who's got a longer rap sheet, the amount of Amazon purchases that my wife makes in a given week. Again, I apologize for butchering her name, but Irina Zarutska was a 23-year-old woman from Ukraine who fled the war there and came to the U.S. as a refugee. She was living in Charlotte, North Carolina, and working to support herself. On August 22nd, 2025, Irina was riding a light rail train home from work in the evening. A 34-year-old man named DeCarlos Brown Jr., who was homeless and had a history of violent crimes, sat behind her. For no clear reason, he suddenly pulled out a pocket knife and then continued to use it on her multiple times in the back and neck. She tried to fight back, but was badly hurt. Other passengers on the train helped stop the attack and held Brown until police arrived. Irina was rushed to the hospital, but sadly, she wasn't able to recover, and she passed. Brown was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. He's a repeat offender with prior convictions for assault and other crimes. Surveillance video from the train was later released showing the quick and brutal attack. And this is all the proof you need about the role media has played in the pollution of millions of American lives. You want to know how much coverage this story got? This is a Ukrainian refugee. Remember all the hypocrites waving their Ukrainian flags in the blasphemous way inside the halls, the Chamber of Congress and our hallowed halls of Congress? Remember all these ridiculous hypocrites with their Ukrainian flags and their social media profile bios and saying, we stand with Ukraine, I'm with Ukraine, we're with Ukraine, all this BS? Not one word, my fellow Americans. Not one word, my fellow global citizens. Not one shred of news coverage on this abysmal story. This is the New York Times. I actually searched to try to find out how many results would come up if you searched for the name of this young 23-year-old, had her whole life ahead of her, Ukrainian refugee, and look at that. Absolutely zero results. Zero results, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? If you search for Daniel Penny, who is literally a symbol of American heroism, standing up for strangers, saving a bunch of people in a New York City subway from a deranged lunatic, you get 100 results for Daniel Penny. I posted this on X. BLM is a terrorist organization. I said that Daniel Penny embodies American heroism, standing up for strangers and saving them from a madman lunatic, and the entire woke propagandist media is enraged, promoting race hustlers and rage baiters, sowing division, feeding off emotions, and denying facts. I don't know if you guys remember all this, but remember those BLM hypocritical thugs shouting and yelling racism? They were given radio time, TV time, their own press conference, their own platform, given all the airtime in the world to yell racism, racism. While this poor woman, a Ukrainian refugee, by the way, that they claim they stand for, gets brutally attacked in the most vile way imaginable by another madman, and the silence, Nez Nation, is deafening. Where's the outrage? Where's the media? Where are the BLM activists now? Well, of course, they're nowhere to be found. Just to add even more insult to injury, the Democratic mayor posted this, and it has been revealed that the Charlotte City Council, they paused their meeting on the light rail incident for an hour to hold a mini birthday celebration and eat cake for one of the council members. I can't share with you the footage from this disgusting, repulsive, horrific video of this individual ending the life of this Ukrainian refugee, but I can just tell you one thing: you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it, because if you're like me, and I think most of you are, just warm-blooded mammals, it's going to make you absolutely livid, and it should. Just for kicks and giggles, I did a search on the Associated Press's news website, and wouldn't you know it, George Floyd, who was a felon, a fentanyl smuggler, drug addict who OD'd on fentanyl, the autopsy showed, there are 74,000 results for George Floyd on the AP website. You want to know how many results match Irina Zarutska and what she went through? You guessed it. There are no results that match for Irina Zarutska. Color me shocked. 0 AP stories, 0 CBS stories, 0 New York Times stories. I have to put on my glasses, I can't see. 0 NPR stories. 0 Wall Street Journal stories, 0 BBC stories on Irina, 0 CNN, 0 Washington Post, 0 Reuters, and 0 MSNBC. If it wasn't for X, this is why I keep saying follow me on X, because I post all the time on X. It is the last bastion of free speech out there on the internet. You can find the link there. Just go open your X app and just search for Professor Nez. I'm the one with the blue check mark, over 24.4 thousand followers as of this recording. There's a lot of imposters, so just make sure you find the right me. You'll know it when you see me. If it wasn't for X, this story would never see the light of day. And you have to ask yourself, why? Well, we know why. But you have to ask yourself why. You have to pose this question to all of our fellow Americans. There's a benefit I want to come out of this video of exposing the media in the most vile, reprehensible way imaginable. This is tyranny. This is tyranny of information. This is a conspiracy. These are acts of sedition. It is simply and point blank concrete proof that the absolute wretchedness of corporate media is so biased and has completely deviated from the journalistic oath of integrity of sharing just the facts. Remember that saying? Just the facts, ma'am. The who, what, when, where, and why. That's it. No subjective interpretation, no skewing the narrative, no architecting anything. This proves exactly otherwise. And then you wonder why Trump did this.
That's fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would the Department of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
I absolutely love that. This video has been going viral. Everybody, of course, the entire liberal faction saying, my God, look at how he berates a reporter for doing her job. Look at how he treats reporters. He doesn't want a free press. Anybody who doesn't agree with it, it's all a bunch of BS. this ridiculous Yamiche reporter says, she has the audacity to say, are you going to war with Chicago? And Trump says, be quiet. Listen, that's why you're second rate. That's why you're nothing. If you ask me, I think he was being too nice. I think he could have been a lot more harsher, especially given everything I just shared with you about this poor Ukrainian refugee and what happened to her. This individual, this DeCarlos Brown, mental deranged lunatic who doesn't deserve to breathe one molecule of free air, not only is he a multiple repeat felon and repeat convictor, but there's actually now somebody actually posted. I'm not even going to share it with you because I don't even want you to even see it. It makes my blood boil. This guy actually has a GoFundMe for his legal fees. That's actually up. Shame on you, GoFundMe. That is a travesty. You should take that down immediately. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, it has been taken down. But if not, report that GoFundMe. It is disgusting. What has our country come to where we're defending homeless, repeat offending, convicting, unaliving nut jobs on the streets of America in 2025? And you have the audacity. These are the same people who said Biden was sharp as a tack, who said Kamala was qualified, said our border was secure, said the Ukraine war is completely legit. All our hundreds of billions of dollars that are being sent over there while Americans can barely pay groceries is all completely warranted. These are the same people who propagated Russiagate. These are the same people who lied continuously, ceaselessly, ad infinitum. And you want us to treat you with respect. You want us to trust you. Or you've polluted half of America's brains. You have architected this sinister narrative. I think Trump was polite, if you ask me. I can't wait to get your thoughts on this. Here, I want to share one last clip here. If you made it this far, I have another clip here that I think is worth sharing. I want you to watch as Governor Wes Moore of Maryland is called out to his face by a resident for doing a photo op in dangerous Baltimore as he walks around with a mob of security. Sound familiar? Kind of like Gavin Newsom, right? Check this out.
Why do the walk now after we done lost people in the Park Heights? 5-year-old was shot in the hand. So this is about photo op, right? This is what this is about, photo op, right? This is what this is about, photo op. And you're gonna ask the president to walk the street with you. But look what you got walking with you. Y'all won't walk the street like this by yourself. But look what you got walking with y'all. All of this. All of this. How much money y'all spending for this? Photo ops. Don't touch me.
This guy has the audacity to call out Trump and say, why don't you walk with me into downtown Baltimore when look what he's doing. I mean, when a Democrat breathes, raw sewage just comes out. When they breathe, they lie. This is a serious issue we have in our country. We have somehow elevated fools through DEI woke ideologies. We have somehow made it okay to hate white people, make them feel guilty, replace them. I mean, quite simply, replace them. Everything the hypocrites advocate for is the exact antithesis to meritocracy. Pure, plain, and simple. And it's people like us who are trying to educate and illuminate this truth. Zero stories. They claim they're all about Ukraine and they support Ukraine. And you haven't heard a single Democrat senator, congresswoman, congressman, nobody say a word about this. That should tell you everything. I can't wait to get your comments on this. Please, as always, tap that thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps us out immeasurably. You can even do it on your TV. If you're watching this on TV, just do it with your remote. Tap that thumbs up. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.